Okay, let's continue yesterday's class. We will understand the things very much. Okay, so I will write some terminology, whatever we discussed. Okay, maybe after we started the ESXi, right? I will write some terminology. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so if you remember, so first thing we have written operating system, right? Operating system, we know that. Okay, so operating system. What is the operating system here? The operating system what we used is ESXi, right? This is the operating system what we are using. Okay, so there is some abbreviation for this: elastic sky X integrated something. Okay, elastic sky X. Okay, the I is integrated. So this is our operating system. So this is same as Windows, Linux. In Linux, we have RHEL and SUSE Linux, right? Same way, we have ESXi. Okay, we have ESXi in the, like, as a name for the operating system. And I used different terms here. One, virtualization. Even we discussed something about this. Virtualization, this is one term. And we used hypervisor. Hypervisor, yes. And we used virtual machine. Virtual machine. This is a VM. I'm calling, right? Okay. And data store. Data store. This we used. Okay. So, and processor, CPU, we know everything. So only the new terms, okay, I'm writing here. VSphere web client. VSphere web client. VSphere web client. So this is one. Okay, virtualization, hypervisor, virtual machine, data store, VSphere web client. Okay. 1 second, somebody pinging me. Okay, so VSphere web client, virtual machine. So like this, we used different terminology. Okay, so I told you virtualization is like which is not existing. Okay, physically, physically something, but virtually we are using in a different way. Okay, so if you take a server, for example, if I take a server, okay, if I take a physical server, if you install Windows, so this is only one server. If you install, like, this is only one server. If you install Linux, this is also only one server. But if you install ESXi, on top of that, you can create virtual machines, VM1, VM2, VM3, blah, 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 VMN, based on the resource available in your system. Okay, so we have seen one example in our server. We have around 20 CPU, right? Around I think 1.7 TB hard disk and 64 GB RAM. Okay, so then we created VM1 with 4 CPU, 500 GB hard disk and 16 GB RAM. And VM2, we created 4 CPU, I think 400 GB hard disk and 8 GB RAM. VM3, so 4 CPU, we given around 200 GB hard disk and so 12 GB RAM we given, and VM4 we given again 4 CPU, around 400 GB hard disk and 12 GB RAM. Okay, so where this 16 CPUs are there, these 16 CPUs are from this, okay, actual processor. So from this processor, one VM use 4 CPU, another VM use another 4 CPU, like that. From the existing, it is using all the CPUs. Okay, suppose on the same mission, if I install Windows, right, all 20 CPU used for this Windows, all the 1.7 TB used for this Windows, and 64 GB RAM used for this Windows only. Okay, so even Linux also same case. So simply we have physically something, but we are creating virtually different thing. Okay, that is virtualization. Okay, I'll give you some notes on that, but that is virtualization, right? Okay. The second term, hypervisor. So hypervisor means, so what I am telling here, ESXi is the hypervisor OS. Hypervisor OS. Okay, hypervisor means if you can create multiple servers on a single operating system, if you can create multiple operating systems on a single operating system. Okay, now VM1, VM2, VM3 and VM4. Okay, if you can do that, if we can do like this ESXi, we call it as hypervisor OS. Okay, so that's why I'm telling ESXi is the hypervisor OS. So that is the hypervisor. Okay, where your system, your operating system allow to create multiple different servers, multiple different operating systems is known as hypervisor. Any question here? Simple, right? Very simple. So next one, virtual machine. So the virtual machine, what you are creating on top of the ESXi. Okay, so here the VM1, this is the virtual machine. Okay, this is the virtual machine. So this VM actually taking resource from the actual, this taking resource from the actual, but it is using only this much, only 4 CPU, only 500 GB hard disk. Okay, only 16 GB, RAM. It is using only that much. So this is virtual machine. This is virtual machine. Okay, this is virtual machine. So this is what. So in the ESXi, we create virtual machines. Okay, if you install directly, that is the physical machine. If you create on the ESXi, it's a virtual machine. You may get question like, what are the difference between, okay, physical server and virtual server? What are the difference between physical server and virtual server? Right? So these are the difference. Physical server, it is a physically exist and it occupy all the resource whatever available in that physical server by single OS. But coming to virtual machine, it's a limited server and we can create multiple virtual machines on one physical server, and we can give limited resource whatever is required for us, okay, to the single virtual machine, right? So that is the virtual server. Virtual machine and virtual server, anything is same. Okay, so then coming to data store. So yesterday we had discussed on this data store, right? So data store, suppose if I take a Windows server, so we get the C drive. Okay, if I take Linux server, we get SDA, right? Same way in the ESXi, we get data store 1. Okay, Windows, it's a C drive. Linux, it's a SDA. ESXi, it is a data store 1. So the Windows OS install in C drive, the Linux OS install on SDA, the ESXi OS installed on data store 1. Suppose if I have 4 disks in Windows, what will happen? So the one disk will be C drive. If suppose if I don't create a RAID, so one disk will be C drive, one disk will be D drive, and E drive, F drive, like that we create. And we can keep any type of data. Like here in the C drive, we have OS. In the D drive, I keep some movies. Okay, here I keep some documents. Here I keep some photos, something like that. I can segregate. This is all our own. So there is no restriction like you have to keep only movies in the D drive. Okay, so like this will come. Coming to Linux, we have SDA, right? Then it will become SDB, SDC, SDD. Okay, even here also we can mount one what is that folder. So here we'll give one folder. In that folder we can keep whatever data we want. We can keep whatever data we want. This is Linux case. So these two, Windows and okay, so these two, Windows and Linux, are direct OS. That's why we are getting different C drive, D drive and all, and we are directly using the C drive, D drive, E drive, everything. But in the ESXi, suppose if I have 4 disks, so it will become data store 1, data store 2, data store 3, data store 4, like that data stores will get created. Simple, very simple. C, D, E, F drives, SDA, SDB, SDC, SDD drives, data store 1, data store 2, data store 3, data store 4. Okay, but only change from these two to ESXi is, so here in every data store, we go and create the VMs. So VM1, VM2, we create in data store 1. So here VM3 and VM4, I create in data store 2. So here VM5, VM6, we create in the data store 3. Okay, suppose here VM7, VM8, VM9. So like this, we create multiple VMs on the every data store. So what is the purpose of ESXi? We don't store any data in it. Like we don't keep movies in data store 1, some documents in data store 2, photos in data store 3, like that. We don't store anything. The ESXi purpose is to create OS on top of that. Okay, here we create VMs, right? We create VMs. So VMs will be either Windows VM or Linux VM. Linux VM. And there is a Mac OS, like that. There are some more, but you can ignore them. So Windows and Linux VMs we create. Okay, again, we work on this Windows machine and Linux machine. So once you create everything, right, no need to bother about ESXi. So just That is just a platform, that is just a kind of a bridge, that is just a bridge. Okay. So this bridge, it helpful to create, okay, this multiple VMs on top of the single physical server. Right? Clear? Any question? Okay. So these data stores, we create multiple data stores and we use same data stores for data. Okay, I mean to create the VM. Okay. So here, so data store one. So I'll take one data store. For example, my data store size is, in our example, 1.7 TB. So that is 1700 GB. So what we did on this data store, we created VM1 and we given 500 GB. And we created VM2, we given 400 GB. We created VM3, we given some 200 GB. And we created VM4. Okay, VM4, and we given some 400 GB, like that we given. And what we did here, we installed Windows 2022. So here we installed, I think, RHEL 8.6. Here we installed Windows 2019. So here we installed some SUSE Linux. Okay. So now if you log in here, you will get a C drive that is 500 GB. You will get SDA that is 400 GB. You will get this is like C drive 200 GB. So you will get SDA again 400 GB. You're understanding, right? So this is a single disk only, but in this disk, these many partitions are happening. Okay. So this disk, this 1.7 TB disk, again, because of virtualization concept, this is segregating. Okay. Like this is my 1.7 TB. Okay. So find in this is data store. Okay. This is data store one. In this 500 GB. Okay. 400 GB. 200 GB. 400 GB. Okay. Like that. So in this 500 GB, I am creating VM1. This will become C drive. So here VM2, this will become SDA. So here VM3, this will become SDA. Okay, this will become C drive. So this is VM4, this will become SDA. So all these partitions are happening in the ESXi data store. So who is taking care to do all this? ESXi is taking care. The OS has a special features like this to create all this data stores, everything. Right? Confusing? Very simple, very, very simple. Okay, you have to practice it, but we didn't see this before. That's why you may feel. Okay, so same thing, the work, the practical, whatever we did it for last 3-4 classes, right? Same thing I'm explaining, but today I'm going some little depth inside what is happening. So all these things I'm explaining. Right? Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, now we'll go to what is that? So data store, you understand data store, that is the hard disk of ESXi server. Now finally VSphere web client, VSphere web client. So I hope you understand by now. Okay. VSphere web client. So here in this VSphere web client, okay. So first you understand we have a physical server. Suppose this is my server. This is my server. So if I install Windows in it, so it has ILO IP. Okay, if I install Windows in it, what we do? We do MSDSC, that is a remote desktop, and we use it. If it is a Windows, suppose if it is a Linux, we give an IP. Okay, same IP like Windows also, same repeating. Okay, IP. So Linux IP. So then we use a concept like putty, and we take the remote access. But coming to ESXi, so in the ESXi, so in ILO, right? Okay, in the ILO, we have two options. So for Windows, whatever you have, so if you see here, right, Windows, whatever you have options in the ILO, same options you will get here. Linux also, like in ILO, we get more options, but here in putty, we get only that remote, that commands we execute, right? Only that we get in the Linux. So I can say in Windows and Linux, so in ILO, that window, right? That window. So everything, whatever we get in the ILO, same thing we will get in the remote desktop also. But ESXi case, in the ILO, you have two options, F2 and F12. Okay, I think this is configuration. F2 is configuration, and F12 is the shutdown or restart. Okay, this is the option, only these options. And we can see IP address and the server details in the ILO page. That much, you can't do anything else. But to do that, you have to take one browser, any browser. Okay, it works with the all popular browsers like Internet Explorer. I think this is no more. I think there is a different name for that. What is this? Edge, I think. Microsoft Edge. Okay, you know that, right? Internet Explorer is not there now. It's no more. Okay, they have stopped it. Microsoft Edge. Browser or anything. So I'll write some popular browsers, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so you can use any of this browser. And these browsers, and in these browsers, we enter our ESXi IP like this, https:// and IP address, and enter. Okay, so then it will open the window what we are working for last 3-4 days. Okay, it will open the window where you can see host, where you can create VMs, where we can see storage, where we can see network, blah 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 blah. Okay, so this we call it as VSphere web client. VSphere web client. This is the one. You understand, right? So it's simple. It's a browser. So to open the ESXi, we have to enter our ESXi IP in the browser. If you enter that IP in the browser, then you can access the ESXi server. Right? Like this. So let me open this ESXi server once again. Okay, we'll install ESXi on one more machine today. So I want you all to concentrate, and we will install it on the without RAID. I mean to say, I want to create multiple data stores. Okay. Okay, I'll open this. This is our, we accessed all our VMs. Okay, we are working with our VMs. Okay, we will take the second server today. Okay, second server, and we will install ESXi. But today I'm not going to create any RAID. So just I want to play with the data stores. Okay, just with data stores. Okay, so I'm going little in detail. So be patient and understand. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. So let me open one more window. So in the last server, right, in the server one, so server one, how was it? So we have one server with only two hard disk. I think only two hard disk, 1 TB and 2 TB. Okay. So what we did, we created RAID 0. With RAID 0, this will become around 2 TB hard disk. On top of this, we installed ESXi. Because of single volume, we got data store 1, only data store 1. But now in the second case, second server, we have multiple hard disk in the system, 1, 2, 3. I think 3 hard disks are there. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to keep any RAID, but on the disk 1, I installed ESXi. So the disk 1 become data store 1, the disk 2 become data store 2, the disk 3 become data store 3. So how to create data stores and how can we create virtual machines on different data stores, that and all we'll see. So we will not install OS every time. I mean, OS in the VMs every time. So just we will create the dummy VMs. Okay, that is enough. So if you start create like OS, right, definitely it will take long time. So if you want, I can do it. Even I don't have problem with that. Okay. Okay, right. We'll see that. We'll go to second server. So just see. Second server ILO IP. We'll go directly to ILO IP 172.17.100.3. Enter. Let's go here. So this time I'll install ESXi 8 administrator. Let me take the OS image. Yeah, I'm copying this. So we did ESXi 7.0, now ESXi 8.0, we will do it now. So this is the 644244, something is there. Okay, this much is there. So this is a 400 MB, this is a 600 change, okay, 600 MB. So we will install ESXi 8.0. Okay, so this is our system. First, we will check how many disks are there. How to check? Go to system information, go to storage. So here we can see, so there are 4 drives actually. There are 4 hard disks, all 146 GB hard disk. So we created one RAID 10, I think. Now I'm going to delete the RAID 0. Sorry, RAID, whatever RAID is there, I'll delete, and I will install separate. Okay, separate OS on the disks. Okay, so I will not have any RAID on this. Okay, let me launch this. Okay, I don't want anything, right? I'll go here. Power cold boot. Okay. Okay, let's reboot. We will go to F9 and we will do the. We will delete the RAID. Okay, we will delete the RAID, and we will not create any RAID, and we will initiate the OS installation. So today I'm not going to do any factory reset or anything. So if any stale entries are there, fine. Anyway, we are not working on them, right? So let it be stale entries, no problem. So I just delete the RAID and I will start OS installation. Okay. So just follow. You have to remember all this. Okay. So this part we do very, very, very much. If you even now with this experience, what I'm doing every day, kind of logging into systems, installing OS, blah, blah, blah. Okay, same, whatever I'm showing you, right? That I'm doing kind of every day. Okay, understand. I pressed F9 for system utilities. So now we will log in and we will delete it. Okay. Okay, it is going on. So just click system configuration. Okay, go directly to RAID controller card. Just I'll delete the RAID. I don't do anything else. Okay, array configuration. Manage arrays. There is one array that is single, this one. Okay, delete array. Back to main menu. array configuration, create array. All 4 disks are there. I'm not going to create any write. Just exit, 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 exit. Okay. Okay. I came out. Now we will attach the image, CD DVD, local ISO file, select ESXi 8.0. So we did ESXi 7.0, right? Now we do ESXi 8. Okay. Okay, I think I have to reboot. Do the cold boot. Give yes. Simple, right? If you see, for last 2 months, we are doing repeated thing. Okay. Log into ILO, install the OS and install properly, configure IP address, configure storage, blah, blah, blah. So kind of, if you see now, I installed ESXi, okay, and I configured IP address and I created virtual machines. But here we have little extra virtual machine on top of the ESXi. We have VM. Okay, we did it. And now we are going to configure storage. Okay, from tomorrow, we will have some different concept in the VMware ESXi. First, you understand storage, and there is one more concept called snapshot, very, very important. So we will learn that, and then we will get into vCenter, virtual center. Very important, that also, and very interesting also. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, directly press F11. So I like to press F11 always. Okay, instead of waiting that mission, that OS to load. Okay, I like to press F11. Okay, it will load the CD DVD. Just wait. Okay, has come. So we'll go to see. This is what I said. So see, some slash is there. There was slash, right? So some slash is there. By mistake, if you click this, right, so it will, kind of, it will confuse you a lot. Okay, that's why I ask you to do that factory reset always. Okay, but anyway, leave it. I don't have any problem. So ILO virtual CD-ROM. Okay, so this is the old OS. You understand, right? This is the previous OS. Even though you cleared the write, still that OS related some things are there. Okay, so now coming back our CD DVD. Just click on this. Our OS will start load. Whoever is not there in the ESXi installation, just see carefully what happened. We have image, right? Yes, image is there. So go to one-time boot menu, click CD DVD. Yes, it is loading. Okay, I just enter. So loading ESXi installer. Just see, everybody see this screen. So it will load for a couple of minutes. After that, we will give our inputs. Okay, so there we will see all the 4 hard disks. Okay, so we will select one hard disk and we will initiate the installation in that. Remaining 3 we will convert as new data stores once the OS is completely up. Okay, so just see this. We will do the OS installation. Loading. So it will take time like this, okay? So don't worry. It's loading, still loading. Okay, but once it completely loads, right? So it will be very fast. Okay. Yes, it is loaded. So see, you can see here VMware ESXi 801. This is our OS, and HP ProLiant DL380 360 Gen 10, one new server, and two processors are there. Silver 4114 CPU and 32 GB RAM is there. Okay, so you got all the details about your system, and ESXi is actually loading. So hold on till this to complete, then we will give our inputs. Okay, if you see, I didn't touch anything so far. Okay, we connected and we are loading to the image. I didn't give any information so far. Okay. loading. If you remember your last installation class, right? Similarly happening. That was ESXi 7.0. Today it is a ESXi 8.0. By seeing this, by seeing options, by seeing the way we are accessing, so you don't find any difference between ESXi 7.0 and 8.0. Okay, there are difference. I will talk to you, but by seeing this, you will not make out any difference between these two.
It is an open source software.
Yeah, somebody asking a question. Can you repeat the question?
Sir, it is an open source software. Can we get directly by downloading it in the website, ESX?
The OS you can get it, but it will be a trial version. Some 30 days will be there. And to use after that, you have to give the license. The image you will get as a open source. But to use permanently, you need to enter the license. That license we have to buy. Okay, suppose if you have a server and you can download one OS from the browser, some internet, and you can install it and you can use it for 30 days. But later, to continue, you have to buy the license from VMware company. Okay, now we have ESXi 8.01 installation. Just enter. Okay, F11 to accept. So just I entered F11. So I'm waiting for that hard disk to select. So that 4 hard disk is there, right? So I'm waiting for that. See, there are 4 hard disks. You are seeing, right? So suppose if I create RAID, I will see single hard disk here. Because of I did not create any RAID, I am seeing all 4 drives separately. And whatever you selected, it will install there. So I'm clicking on the down arrow buttons here. So obviously better to select the first disk always. So I'll select first disk and hit enter to continue. I'm hitting enter here. So I'm installing ESXi on the single disk. Okay, the first disk I'm installing the ESXi. Other 3 disks are okay, nothing. So now enter to OK. So language keep US default and password you maintain same password admin@123 capital A admin@ okay F11. See, it's going fast, right? See, 30% completed. 56% done. Just wait. So after this, we will configure the IP and same settings, whatever we did it right. We go to F2 and configure IP and enable ESXi shell. And we access this machine from the VSphere web client. There we create the VMs. Okay, this is the procedure for ESXi. Okay, maybe this is the first time you are seeing this kind of OS concept and all. Not even in, you can't do this in the Linux, laptops. You can't do it in the personal systems anywhere. So that's the reason. Okay, that is the reason you don't know about this kind of concept. But Windows and Linux, there and here in your mission somewhere you would have used it, but here you don't use it. Okay, you don't use it in your personal computers, personal systems anywhere. Okay, enter. Okay, it is booting up. Just hold on. So once we get that ESXi console right, we will go and update it. Okay, we will configure the IP, everything, and we will do the data center creations, data store creation, sorry. Loading, just hold on. Yes. See now. So this is completely done. Okay, this is ESXi 8.0. So you can compare later whatever I did it. So here F2, the customize your system configuration, and F12 for shutdown or restart. Okay, so I'm pressing F2. Go to F2. So you can see here, first we have to configure the management network. Just hit enter. So if you want to see all 4 adapters, you click here. So we have 4 adapters. I mean, one NIC card, 4 ports, right? 4 ports, sorry, 4 ports. So all 4 ports are there. And the first port, it is 172 series network. Second port, 192 series network. And third port, nothing connected. Fourth port, nothing connected. Okay. So now what I'll do, right? Only 172 we will work on, and how to take the second IP, we will have a separate class. Okay. So wherever you have this cross mark, right? Wherever you select, the IP will configure for that. Okay. Don't do any experiment, but just to take whatever is default, just hit enter. So IPv4 configuration, enter, set static IP, and what is the IP we have to give? You know that, right? 172.17.100.4. This is the second server. We have to give 255.255.255.0. So second server IP, 3 is ILO, 4 is OS. I given 4 for OS. Enter. So I given IPv4, IPv6 I don't want. We will disable it and just escape. Okay, give yes. And there is one more setting we have to do, that is troubleshooting options. Troubleshooting options, enter, enable ESXi shell. Just select the option, and hit enter. Okay, then enable SSH, select the option, hit enter. That's it, right? Just come out. So we have enabled it, right? We will see. So 172.17.100.4. Okay, how to launch this? Open the browser, https:// okay, .4, 172.17.100.4. Hit enter. See, this is your VSphere web client. Simple, right? It's become little easy now. So root is default user, capital A, admin @123. This is your password. Okay. So you want to check the things. So just close all this. So this is your new server. Go to host. So here we have 8.0 update 1 coming to hardware, HP server, DL380, 360 Gen 10 is the model. It has 20 CPUs and 32 GB RAM. Okay. So this is the hardware and other system details when it is up, all these things. Okay. But I am interested, like now I will go and create the VM, right? So where it will get created, it will get created on the storage. I am seeing only data store 1. Okay. So what is this? 8.5 GB capacity. 1.41 GB, free is 1.9 GB. Oh, what is this one? What is our disk size? Okay, maybe the after OS installation, remaining size is 8.5 GB, I think. Provision 1.41 GB. There is looks like some issue, but actually this should be 146 GB. Okay, so let's see. Like we have one data store 2, 3, 4 has to come. So looks like there are some issues in VMware. There are many issues. You see issues like this. So the size of the disks are different. Okay, like this you see multiple defects. So how to add other 3 drives? You understand that. Click new data store. Create new VMFS data store. Click next. What does this mean? I'll do one thing. I'll do one reboot. Okay. I'll do one reboot and come. So looks like something is wrong. Admin@123. So there are many issues in the ESXi. Okay. Okay, configure management. Anyway, I'm rebooting, right? That's why I want to disable this IPv6 also. So we'll do one reboot and launch it. Just wait for some time. Okay, wait for some time, some 2-3 minutes. I'll show you the data store and I will close for today. And tomorrow I'll talk more. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Just see this server. The voice is coming up. Let's see. Okay. The voice is there. Let me try. I'll do one refresh. We have to log in. Okay. So just enter root. Go to host. Okay. So just go to storage. So it's still showing like this. We'll click on new data store. Create a new VMFS data store. Click next. New devices with free space. So what is this? Actually, there are 3 hard disks are there, right? It has to give that hard disk. Adapters, devices. See, you see here. So leave this. Okay, this is another our RAID controller card information. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 hard disks are there. Okay, you are seeing, right? Local HP disk 136, 136, 136, 136. Okay, if you click on rescan, if anything is there, you will get. If you click on refresh, it will list all the devices. So devices are there. But when I'm trying to create new data store, I'll give the same name, data store 2. Okay, next. See, the devices are not coming here. The devices are not adding here. So this is the issue. Actually, this is the new OS we downloaded in the morning. So looks like there is an issue. Okay, what to do? We should have installed ESXi 7.0, which is stable build. So I want to show you ESXi 8.0. Okay, you are understanding, right? So there are 4 hard disks. So in the Windows, I'm trying to create a D drive, for example. When I'm trying to create a D drive, it is not showing any hard disk. Even though there are hard disk and everything is proper, it is not showing anything. That is the issue. And as I said, this is the new issue. I mean, new OS. Okay, what you are seeing is the new OS. And looks like the issue in the new OS. We can do one thing. On the same server, we can install ESXi 7.0 U3 and we can try same scenario. I'll do one thing. Maybe after the class, right? I will initiate that OS installation, ESXi 7.0 U3. And tomorrow we can check this. Okay, we can start from this. Okay. So any questions you have?
Sir,
yes, Vedant.
Sir, I think we can use this ELXi as a remote desktop, sir. We can operate from any mobile or anywhere by clicking the prescribed web link, URL link.
You mean my IP?
After we creating VMware as in ELXi, we can operate anywhere, no, sir?
It should be in the same network. Same network means, see this, you can operate from anywhere, even in the mobile. Suppose this is my switch, okay? So usually we have multiple ports. So now I have one server here, one server here. Okay. So like this, I have multiple servers and last port, I have laptop. Okay. First thing, you understand what, when I say they should be in the same network, I have a laptop. Now, this server I given, just see OS IP, don't look at IL ondal 100.1, 100.2, 100.3, and this is I given 172.17, 100.200, something like that I given. Okay. Maybe here I have Windows, here I have Linux, here I have ESXi. Okay. All 3 missions I can access from this laptop. All Windows, Linux, and ESXi I can access from this laptop. But in the laptop, to access Windows, we have to run MSTSC and we access this mission. And we have to run putty and we can access this mission. Same way, in this mission, we can open the browser. In this browser, this ESXi IP we enter and we can access this ESXi server. You understand this much? So now all 4 missions, one is my personal laptop and other 3 are servers in the data center, in the lab. Okay. Just for understanding, I have written everything on one switch. Usually in lab, we have one switch, and one switch will be here. Okay, one switch will be somewhere here. Our laptop may connect here, but you just understand all four systems are in one network and we are able to access from laptop. So this one, suppose there is other team who has a lab. Okay, they have one separate network and they have some laptops here. For example, they have some laptops here. So laptop here. So in this case, if you see, right, in this case, these people cannot access these three machines, including ESXi. Nobody can access these two machines. These three machines. These two people cannot access these three systems. Cannot access these three systems because they are in different network and they both are not connected. Okay, this means we are in same network. This means they are in different network. So you cannot access this. This is the second network. Okay, so coming to your point, so can I access this from mobiles? Okay, so thing is, the ESXi you can install only on the server, and the server you connect to the switch. Okay, there are no Wi-Fi switch. Okay, there are no, like if you have, like in the house we have a router, for example. If you buy one server and the router has some network ports also, and you have a ESXi server, in the ESXi server, if you connect to router and this router is giving Wi-Fi signal to your mobile, so in this case, yes, you can access in the mobile browser, you can access this ESXi server. You can do that, but this scenario you don't see anywhere. You don't see anywhere. So that's why no need to think of mobile devices, anything. Okay, always we connect directly and we use from the laptop. Did I answer your question, Surendra?
Yes, sir. But we have to connect with the same network itself. Unless until.
Correct. Whatever. You understand, right? What is same network and what is different network. Now, if you see, now we are accessing from my laptop, right? We are logging into multiple servers and we are installing Windows, Linux, ESXi. We are seeing ILO, all these things, right? All are possible because of my laptop, and these four servers are in same network. That's why I'm able to open everything from my laptop and I'm able to show you all the installations, configurations, everything. Suppose if you enter these IPs, definitely somebody would have tried by now. If you enter these IPs in your laptops, in your browsers, you will not get anything because you people are there, not there in the same network. You are there in the different network. You are not in HP network. You understand, right? So this is the case. So same network means all systems should connect to one network, one switch, one or multiple switches together. Okay. And we should configure proper IP. So if you connect, will it be enough? No. You have to configure this 100.1, 100.2, 100.3, 100.100. We have to configure proper IP address. First, you have to make the connections, then you have to configure proper IP. Then only we can say they are in same network. Right? Any question? Any more question? Okay, then I'll do one thing. I'll stop it here and we'll continue the snapshot tomorrow. So learn everything. So learn crazy. Okay. I mean to say, just keep interest on every concept, especially in the VMware. So if you show some interest, right? Yeah, you will rock. I'm telling you, you will rock in the VMware. So after some time, concepts like RAID, VMware ESXi, they will become very friendly. So in the interview, you feel like if I get questions on RAID or VMware ESXi, so you will feel very happy. Okay, like that situation will be there. Okay, so just concentrate, learn everything. So we'll discuss more tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Good night.